Hello, Hellions and Helliots. How are we doing tonight? And welcome to another quirky episode of the Hellion Rebellion Rock and Roll Association, brought to you by Holly Geist. We have a moment of silence that we need to recognize tonight. This one it goes out to William Poogie Hart from R&B supergroup The Delphonics. We lost him roughly a week ago. So let's go ahead and give William Poogie Hart a moment of our deepest respect. All right. May William Hart, one of the founding members of the Delphonics, find peace, love, and understanding in the binding grace of heaven's arms. So, are we ready to do some art rock? Are we ready for quirky? Who wants to hear strange? I've got strange for you, coming from Rerun Records out of St. Louis, a label that specializes in the obscure and the eccentric, usually musical groups and artists from the late 70s and early 80s. And tonight we are showcasing Amadots. Amadots comes from the late 70s, early 80s. They come from one of the U.S.'s biggest beer cities, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or if you're Alice Cooper, you will call it Milwaukee. I was 2 weeks ago years old when I discovered this band. I know nothing of this group, had never heard of anything by this group. I just found the record, thought it looked cool, it was at a good price, which most rerun records are. They're always fairly priced. And I picked it up, and I have to admit, I'm kind of in love with this record. I'm bewildered by it. It's definitely a strange one. Amadots are a somewhat unprecedented band in the sense that they only came out with one 7-inch in the back in the day. They had a handful of demos, and they had some live material, all of which can be found on this record. However, they were just eccentric enough, just quirky enough, just strange enough to garner the attention of up-and-coming progressive post-punk bands like the Talking Heads, Gang of Four, Captain Beefheart. I want to say Susie and the Banshees, but don't quote me on that one. And they ended up going on tour all throughout the United States and Canada with these bands. And it's strange for a band at that time to not really have 2 or 3 records underneath their belt and go on tour with some up and coming great bands. The other thing that they're kind of known for is feminism. Prior is not the right word, but feminism wasn't something people talked a lot about in rock music. The exception may be Patti Smith, um, but it was always talked about in kind of innuendos, sort of like Joan Jett talking about a bad reputation and Cherry Bomb and that sort of thing. But Amadat's talked about it in feminism and the feminist movement in America for um, on a few of these songs. I mean, it's not their main goal, but it's definitely different for its time. That whole the feminist movement in music really didn't come to prominence until the early '90s with the a lot of the Riot Girl bands. So this band was definitely before their time when it comes to that subject matter. But like I said, uh, this band is more artistic. They're I can't quite put my finger on what they do. They're like the Talking Heads, but more gothic. Probably more in line with somebody like Bauhaus. Um, they one thing I hear that I didn't read anything about is they sound like the English anarcho band Crass. Like they have a lot of bass lines like Crass. Even though I mean, take out all the anarchy lyrics and put in weird gothic feminist lyrics, and you have Amadat's. So I would definitely like to hear what you think about this band. It's definitely a strange one. Um, I'm glad I have it, and kudos to you if you actually know who this group is. So I'm gonna play the one song that they're actually sort of known for. It's called "Hit Girls," and then I'm gonna play another song that I think is the best song on this record. So sit back and enjoy Milwaukee's own Amadats. All right, there was Hit Girls, probably their most famous song. If you have their original Amadot 7-inch, I think it's either called Hit Girls or the what is it called? The increase is the cease. The cease is increase. It's actually a pretty valuable piece of punk rock history if you own that. So the next song I want to play is what I think is the best song on here, is called Silver Crawler's Nightfish. So let's see if I can find it. Amadots. So there you go, Amadots from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah, I mean, do you hear the crass thing that I'm hearing in that? I totally hear that in there, and I hear the talking heads in there a lot too. So I hope you liked it. It's definitely a strange one. It's definitely for eclectic tastes. I'm glad I have it. I love crazy music like this. Other than that, have a great rest of your week. Peace.